friends, and I was just staying there for 2 weeks.
Kind of a vacation thing.
Like a vacation thing,
Huh.
but I don't know.
Again, I think Norman's looking for you.
Or if you just had
I don't know, stand in the doorway.
Okay,
We'll just go
hold
back
on, we'll,
to the party.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. Yeah, it's funny.
just make sure that we're on and people can hear us.
Oh, you did?
Calling to order our select board meeting for September 15th, and we are all present. I'll step out for just a second while Danielle comes in. And then he leaves.
Yep.
Already?
I don't know if he needed you. They were yelling to him. I don't know if
Okay,
they thought it was you.
okay.
So he's coming back.
Norman, all set?
No, he sent you an email. That's what you wanted to say.
Okay. All right. Well, again, welcome. We'll start off with our town clerk report.
Hey, guys.
When you get settled.
I don't have much of a report. We had a huge payroll today. And we calculated out the differences from town meeting, so those all got applied to employees' pay today. Yeah. So, we have an AP warrant in your folder for, recording 65 liens, to the York County Registry for 2024 taxes. If you could review and approve that, that would be great. Also, the payroll summary is included in your folder, and that shows all the increases and the payroll for the last 2 weeks, and also including the differences back to July 1st that was approved at town meeting. So it's pretty big one.
What did you decide about road crew?
Jeff did receive the COLA 2.5%. Everybody else is the same. That was per mile. I just did, want to ask about the SAD 55 director, that was going to replace Amanda Mudgett in her resignation. Did you appoint Joanne McKinney yet, or were you going to discuss it tonight?
We can discuss it and appoint.
Okay, I have 2 sheets here, for the select board appointments.
Uh-huh.
And also, I just wanted to ask about the 911 administrator. I did talk to someone over the weekend that has been waiting for a 911 address, and I did reach out to the state and I forwarded you the instructions on what we need to do to get a login. It's third party. So, yeah.
Sounds good. All set?
Yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that anymore, but,
About the 911?
They're on the agenda.
yeah, okay. Sorry, I did not
There you
go.
get that yet. And you've seen the warrant, Parson Field Heating and Cooling, their second payment, will come out of the reserve into the general fund to pay that out. Same with Sockeye Rescue, the use of rescue reserve for 20 grand. And everything else is pretty straightforward. There is some sweeping of the roads, expense. We did have our first expense for the water damage with the septic line that got hit. It's the, porta potty, expense of $360. I did set up a separate account. I did take Aaron's recommendation, and what I did is I just took an old account and renamed it water damage. So we'll put all our expenses there to track it. So that's what you're seeing there.
Is that under professional fees or should it be under insurance?
It's under professional fees right now, just with the thought that professional fees will be the contractors and stuff like that. And once we get the money back, we'll just offset it and hopefully it'll be zero.
Reimbursement?
That's all I have.
Okay. I went through the agenda. And how about you, Saban?
No, I thought it was fun.
Okay, approved. Minutes. Saban, were you able to go through the
They looked fine to me.
approved? Approved. May have made a couple of changes earlier, but since Aaron wrote them. Appreciate it, okay.
I didn't come prepared. Can I borrow your pen?
Oh, sure. So like Danielle said, the bills, we have a payroll. Fees for the liens, 1,235.
Can you steal me a pen? Is there a pen in the box?
The warrant totals
Thank you.
$50,260.84. That includes Parsons Field Heating and Cooling, our rescue reserve payment, road crew, Hasty and Chick Road washouts. Bodies are us. Meeting recordings, M&T Bank. And that will do it. We still have a CEO ad still. We did get an applicant, so hopefully something will come of that. I haven't scheduled any time yet, but we'll see how it goes.
The payroll. Do you have the payroll one still? Or is that in here?
More than the payroll even. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yep. You know what? Let me just send that with it so we do stay together. Rescue, number of calls was 97. 90 of those were covered by our rescue, 7 were mutual aid. We gave mutual aid once. We transported 48 out of those 90. Advanced life support to 70%. 24 runs to Cornish, 18 to Hiram, 27 to Parsons Field, and 28 to Porter. Top reason for calls was medical, followed by breathing problems, and then cardiac. Average response time, 12.1 minutes. My catch. So, not bad. We have a public hearing tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Planning board meeting this Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Which leads us to our discussion items. First on the discussion list is our cannabis licensing application. We tabled Silver Therapeutics till tonight and have received multiple emails on the septic system and from SRCC, and most recently, one from Norman. Did you guys see this?
I haven't, it's
I
not
think he only
my,
sent it to you.
Okay, gives a property address, 18 Federal Road, verification. I certify that I have reviewed the site plan, review conditions for this property, and that the conditions have been met to my satisfaction. Let me forward that to both of you as well. All right, so let me just pull up. It says, I've also received an email from Cam today regarding this application. I'm going to go through the standards, license performance standards.
Before we do that, so I move to open deliberation on the application from Silver Therapeutics.
I'll second.
Seconded, all in favor? Okay. The following performance standards are applicable to all licensed cannabis facilities. Setbacks. A parcel of property may not be located less than 700 feet from the nearest lot line of a parcel or property containing another cannabis facility or an existing public or private school. Those conditions have been met as that there is no other facility at this time or public or private schools or daycares. Access. Convenient and safe access for ingress and egress of pedestrian and vehicular traffic exists. And we have seen parking plans and we know the layout, and that condition has been met. Ventilation. All cannabis facilities shall install an odor mitigation system within the licensed premises. The odor control system installed shall be sufficient to ensure that no odors generated by the facility will be perceptible from any adjoining property line. We have documentation of the fact that the retail store receives packages that there is no odor emission, and we've also received documentation that you have air filtration in place. That condition has been met. Waste disposal. The waste disposal plan shall be submitted and approved by the select board. Any cannabis waste generated by the cannabis facility must be disposed of in a manner consistent with all rules promulgated by the Maine OCP, as the same may be adopted from time to time. Cannabis facility shall not dispose of waste or residue from the growth, cultivation, processing, or storage in an unsecured waste receptacle that is not under its possession and control. We did go through this last week and have been assured that waste products are disposed of according to procedure and policy of OCP. That condition has been met. Loitering. The owner and or operator shall make adequate provisions to prevent individuals from loitering on the licensed premises. It shall be the owner operator's obligation to ensure that any person found loitering or using cannabis or cannabis products on the licensed premises is ordered to leave. We discussed this as well, and it sounds like staff has been trained to deal with it. That condition has been met. Security. The licensed premises must meet the following security requirements. Lockable doors and windows shall be served by an alarm system that includes both an audible alarm and both the sheriff's department and state police notification component. The licensed premises shall have video surveillance capable of covering the exterior and the interior of the licensed premises. The video surveillance system should be operated with continuous recording. Such video should be retained for a minimum of 30 days. Such records shall be made available to law enforcement agencies when investigating a criminal complaint. There was documentation that this is in place, and that the video surveillance from OCP is probably more strict than our ordinance. Hours of operation. Open for business between the hours of 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday. That follows along with our ordinance. That condition is met. No outdoor operations, no activities performed under a cannabis facility license, including but not limited to the cultivation of cannabis, the production of cannabis and cannabis products, the sale of cannabis products to a customer or registered patient may occur outdoors. You have stated that no outdoor operations will occur. That condition has been met. Other licenses and permits. All adult use cannabis facilities shall obtain a state of Maine conditional license prior to operating in the town of Parsonsfield. You have seen that. Any registered caregivers applying to operate medical cannabis facilities, we are not discussing medical cannabis facilities. It's an adult use, must possess current registrations or licenses, and must provide copies of said registrations. All cannabis facilities must also possess and maintain a valid conditional use approval for the cannabis facility from the Parsonsfield Planning Board. All cannabis facilities, we have that. We have a conditional use approval from the Planning Board. All cannabis facilities located within the jurisdiction of the Saco River Corridor Commission or its successor agency shall receive all necessary approvals from that commission or successor agency prior to beginning operation. I did receive an email from Saco River Corridor Commission. Let me find it. The documents, particularly the on-site water tightness tests, do appear to satisfy condition number 2A of the Saco River Corridor Commission permit order. She goes on to say, other than those concerns which might be cleared up with a call to the permit holder, I would say that the permit is in good standing. They periodically check to make sure the permit remains in good standing. One requirement is that the SRCC permit order be recorded. And it's a necessary step. Also, the additional erosion control measures, which I believe VRAP has signed off on. I saw that as one of your documents. So that seems to be the most contentious condition standard that is met. I would say that of the documents that we have received, that this condition has been met, that all necessary approvals have been given. It's not the select board's purview to deal with septic issues. It is not part of our licensing standard for cannabis. It's these standards that I just met, that I just read through. I would say that that condition has been met. Insurance, I've seen your insurance policy. So, any further deliberation from your standpoints?
No, I think the only condition that we would need to place would be pending the outcome of the zoning board decision.
Yes, and that it is a condition, but it's not, would not hold up, it would not hold up us giving, approving a license.
No, we'd be able to approve it today with approve or deny today. And then if we're approving, then I would just recommend that we approve it with the condition that the zoning board finds in favor, on the condition that they find in favor of the property owners.
Wasn't Cam saying on that condition pending that no other license is approved within the setbacks that are required by the ordinance?
There are no other.
He said something about making that one of the conditions is due to the zoning board of appeals. He said something to us at the last meeting about that. For all the applicants, actually, not just this specific one.
Samuel, could you speak up?
I'm sorry. Yes, I will. I said our lawyer had said something about suggesting a condition of approval based on no other license, pending license be approved in the interim on all of the, not just this specific application, but on all the applications.
Until an appeal is filed and the select board receives evidence that the planning board or SRCC approvals are invalidated, I would advise the select board to treat the planning board and SRCC approvals as valid for purposes of its licensing review. Okay.
Can I just, I'm not the town's attorney. You're really clear, but obviously I'm not your lawyer. The condition of, if the ZBA or the planning board invalidated one of the underlying land use approvals, like the condition of approval, the license permit becomes invalid sort of regardless.
Right.
So you can place a condition of approval, like pending the outcome of the ZBA proceeding or validity of the underlying land use approvals. But the legal effect is the same. Like if you don't, there's no condition of approval attached to the issuance of a license, and the ZBA in the future says, no, we find that the conditional use permit is invalid, the effect is the same. Like the license becomes subject to revocation.
Right. That's my.
And you do have the power under your ordinance to revoke a license if one of the performance standards, the licensee becomes non-compliant with the performance standard. You should do whatever your attorney has advised you, but that's just.
My comment was more for clarification, because I didn't hear him very well on this side.
Was I not talking loud enough then?
I got a buffer.
Okay. I would move that we accept the standards as that we've just gone through and grant a license to Silver Therapeutics for their facility.
Are we allowed to speak?
Not at this time.
Second.
All in favor? So moved and accepted.
Appreciate the board's time. I know you've spent a lot of time and energy on this. Thank you for your deliberations. We appreciate your time and attention to this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
If there's nothing further from us, we will get out of here.
Okay, thanks for attending.
Thanks. Thank you very much. Nice evening, everybody.
You too.
All right, we'll move down to the next discussion item. Spectrum Underground request. Spectrum has received a grant to get fiber optics, high-speed internet into the town of Parsonsfield. They want to do that through underground cables that they bore off the sides of the road. Aaron and I both met with them on Friday morning. We've had Friday morning meetings scheduled, in advance to keep discussing this. Our road commissioner had some real concerns about underground cables off of the road and how deep they would be and the potential for road maintenance to disturb the cables. And if that were the case, then the town would be liable. The people that attended the meeting totally understood. They were in agreement that it was a concern of ours. They did not realize that Elm Street was a state road, so they hadn't gotten permissions from the state to access those poles. Chase Road in particular and Pratt Road in particular, the poles that they have aren't usable, not tall enough for communication cables for there, so that's why they would go underground. We have another meeting coming up on Friday, and we'll just keep meeting until we can move forward, and we'll see how that goes. That's pretty much where we stand with that.
Yep.
I mean, we all want high-speed internet for sure, but not at the cost of cables being disrupted, I think. Water leak update. Okay. We have found that there is asbestos in the mastic underneath the carpet and tile. So until that is mitigated, until we have a contractor come in and take care of pulling up the entire carpet, we're in a kind of a holding pattern. They have to come in, do an assessment, and then send that off to get approved. And then it's going to be a 2-day process, probably on a Friday and a Saturday. After that, then we'll have repairs. They'll come in to redo the sheetrock on the walls. And it'll just be an ongoing process. But I think they've done a great job, and they've responded really well to everything that we've needed. We have a lot of contacts that we're keeping in touch with, so that works. On to our open positions. We have somebody interested in the school board, and I believe that she came in today. And did she just state her interest to you? Is that what she wanted to do? Or okay, I I would, it's Joanne McKenney. She was a teacher. She wants to stay involved in some way with the schools, and she would be a great addition to the school board. I would move that we appoint Joanne McKenney to the school board.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Thank you, Joanne.
You want to sign this now, or?
Sure.
And that expires in, 27.
I'll just hang on to it, okay? The next open position is a 911 administrator, otherwise known as an addressing officer. When people come in and have a new home built, they need a 911 address. That position was held by David Bauer, and Danielle has expressed interest in doing that. I have a form for emergency services communication that can be filled out, and really appreciate you offering to do it, and I would move that we nominate Daniel Taylor for the 911 administrator.
I'll second.
Appoint her, rather. Okay. All in favor? All right, thanks. Do
Yep.
you wanna, did you get appointment papers?
I did,
Okay.
just in case.
Trade with you. You can have that one.
It's your pen, mine.
There's another open role for the town. It is the town's emergency management agent, a position that I held until it was noticed that you can't hold an elected role at the same time. So that position is open. Volunteers, it's a stipended position. You can attend York County emergency management meetings once a month. That has to do with emergency preparedness, being aware of what our town has available for sheltering or centering, and developing emergency operation plans for the town. A lot of those are already in place. So if there's anybody out there that would like to be considered for it, that would be great.
Yeah, you've got that. You've got a zoning board of appeals seat that's available. You've got a planning board seat that will be coming available, either the planning board or planning board alternate seat. Code enforcement, deputy code enforcement. Zoning board needs a secretary. Depending on what the planning board decides on Wednesday, they may need a secretary as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of opportunity.
A lot of spots. You want to talk about your risk reduction grant?
Yeah, so submitted the risk reduction grant to MMA for, so obviously we're moving from a oil burning boiler for heat for the town hall, moving to propane. With that, we're moving the propane tank where it currently sits, which is going to be significantly better because right now it's in a position where in the winter it gets plowed up, snow gets plowed up against it. So we're going to be moving that into a more convenient place. And then in order to protect it from, any cars or anything in its new spot, I put in for 6 bollards and concrete to be paid for with the MMA safety grant. So haven't heard anything since I submitted it, but I did submit that over the weekend. And then we'll be able to get those installed. They are the kind that you fill with concrete. So
Okay.
got those, and then did a calculator for the concrete through Lowe's. So we'll be able to get that, and I can go pick that up if we get it approved. But we can't spend the money for this until we get the grant.
Right.
So
Right.
that was part of the conditions of the grant, was that it couldn't be something that you had either already purchased. So more to come on that, but it's been submitted.
Yeah. MMA has great grants. We've done a few of them, so.
Yeah.
It's nice to have them. We have Central Maine Power's pole permit application for intersection of Collins Road and Mudgett Road. It's the same, not published, date September 9th. This is just for the town to sign that they have our permission to do it. One pole, that's, I know where it is.
Collins is a private road, right?
Yeah.
Is that going up the hill?
Yeah. Memo about winter sand. Dwight Mills has a special when we start ordering and buying sand for the winter, $9.50 a yard as opposed to $10 a yard, after October. Only good for the month of October, and so after that, do you know if any of the road crew knows this yet?
No, they don't.
Okay.
Can you forward it to Bill and
Yep,
Mark?
I will. Not that we want to think about that yet, but. Tax commitment, we are starting work on that. It's a bit of a process with gathering some of the information, state valuations and York County tax and then the revenues and other things that we can use to deduct. So it's in the works. Updates, Saban, any updates?
Nothing. I'm working on the mutual aid agreements for Effingham,
Okay.
Newfield, and Limerick.
Limerick, right,
And you saw the email I got back from the Limerick fire chief.
yes,
So we'll just have to work with that. That's all I have for the moment.
okay. Aaron, anything on your docket?
No, I don't want to steal, I won't steal your thunder, so I was going to bring up the event on Thursday, but yes, we have a public hearing tomorrow for 04047, planning board meeting on Wednesday, and then it's covers the meetings, but no, they still haven't heard back from Civic Plus on the connection to Facebook, so I've been kind of getting bounced around to different people about seeing what utilities they have, so.
What is that connection?
So that when we post something on news, it would post it to Facebook with just like a link to the news article.
Wow.
Yeah. So more to come on that.
Okay. We gotta let Pine State Security know that we have had a change in our phone lines to consolidated. And I got an email back. Did I send this? Yeah, you got it. You guys have it too. The kind of phone lines we have, the VoIP lines, which is a voice over internet protocol, I believe, requires installation of cellular communicators for both systems, not only the security, but for our phones. The cost is $450 to install the fire communicator. Yearly monitoring is $600. The cost to do the cell on the security would be $250. And to install the communicator and the yearly monitoring would be $420. Most likely each cellular communicator would need an antenna, and that cost is $275. So that just came in today from Pine State Fire and Security, something we will have to maybe bring up at our next workshop.
Yeah, I think the email led to more questions for me.
Yeah.
Are we going to need both of these, one of these? And then,
And one for each phone or?
Right.
Right.
so I didn't understand kind of what they were alluding to us needing to do.
Yeah, so I have not responded to that yet.
Okay.
Yeah. traffic reader, the broken traffic reader has been removed from its pole and it'll be sent out to the company that manufactures them when we receive the packaging material from them. No idea how much that will cost yet, but we do have a claim in with MMA, with risk management, so they're aware of it. Let's see. Oh, and then we have our Youthful Maine food pantry on Thursday. Normally we do that inside, but because of the construction and the vehicles and the sand and the vans that are out there, it's supposed to be a nice day. I spoke with the directors of the food pantry and we'll probably do it outside. We've done that once before. So if anyone's listening, we'll be out. We'll get tables set up and do it out there. So it worked well when we did it before. I think that's about all I have. You guys are all set with anything else? Workshop items, personnel policy, continuing, general assistance workshops are coming up. I think we'll probably all try to get certified in how to work through the general assistance applications and what's required from the state and what's required of us. So there's a workshop coming up. There's a class up in Augusta as well that I'll go to. I think it's the end of September. No executive session today. And I would take some brief comments from anybody that's here before we adjourn.
I sent an email in and I have no response from either one of you. So I dropped it off a copy because I found the subject is designed, no more probably do not know was wrong. Because the subject design was on law 2 and the application is on law 3. Because apparently you cannot apply the subject, the service to law 3 and law 7, but the subject is just behind my garage door, is on law 2. But the application on HHE is very wrong because the owner owns multiple properties. This can be very wrongfully used, and I had it very clear. You write down the arrows on the HHE 200, what exactly. Also, the address is incorrect too. For example, we have subject system, you have the law, what's law exactly, which map, and what address. It has to be exactly accurate. You cannot just want to mumble, because because the owner have a multiple properties, it will represent each one of them. In this case, they put a law 3 on it, which is very wrong. Everybody knows standard building does not have a land to put in slot of subject.
I really think that is outside the scope of the select board's cannabis licensing facility. That is something that sounds like it would come up as an appeal or dealing with the planning board. But septic issues are outside of the scope of our licensing ordinance.
But the last meeting, I went to YouTube. Eric Frey called in, said that the location, which I pointed out too, has to be approved by the planning board before you even go to you guys, and that he did not approve the location, and he only took a look at the installation.
Right, the HHE was approved by Jesse Winters.
Right.
So that's why Eric's saying that he didn't approve the location doesn't mean it wasn't approved by somebody else. But those septic concerns, those are concerns that need to be either brought before the zoning board or brought before the planning board.
What I'm saying is the owner owns multiple properties.
I understand what you're saying, and I understand what you mean, but there's nothing that this board can do about septic issues or concerns over septic permits or land use permitting. Land use is.
When I find out it's wrong, totally wrong design, what should we do?
You would appeal it to the zoning board of appeals or to the planning board. No, you wouldn't appeal to the planning board. You appeal to the zoning board of appeals.
I send this to the planning board?
On the
No,
ZBA.
you'd have to go to the zoning board of appeals, the ZBA.
Right.
You'd have to file an appeal and submit it to the zoning board.
To a zoning board meeting, I guess if I know no more.
Yeah, well, they don't meet regularly, so they meet on an as needed basis. So as they get appeals, so they have a meeting on the 30th for an appeal that they have. which is in regards to the similar topic that you're bringing up.
Is this month the 30th?
Correct.
Also, the partial system done, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. To me, that's incomplete system. I never heard it. I don't see any documentation that allow them to do a partial done. And I verified with some of the reporters just a couple of days ago, and even he said that it was only phase 1 done. So that means this whole system is not done.
I think that's another appeal that you would have to take up and get more information from Saco River.
No, I mean,
Again, it's a septic issue. It's outside the scope of our licensing ordinance.
but the license based on everything they complete, right? Like there was another thing that expired.
Well, the licensing is based on the business. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Licensing is based on the business. The conditional use approval, which is approved by the planning board, is certifying that the business is able to have that use.
What about there was a thing that a planning board already approved? It expired June 30th. Is it part of a zoning board or a planning board?
So that's in relation to the Stanley Building, when they, a year prior, had submitted paperwork for their site plan review. So that's not related to the cannabis application that I mean, it's in the same building, so it's related in that manner, but it's not related to the application that we reviewed today.
What you say is I submitted to the wrong department.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we need to get that to either the zoning board or the planning board. I mean, I think the zoning board is the correct one.
Is there any way I can get a zoning board, like an email address, who to contact you? Because I never found Peter and stuff.
Yeah, well, so.
The same, wouldn't it, as?
Well, so it's the planning at Parsons Field that Desiree manages. And so I think that's one of the questions that we have for them on Wednesday is sort of how the administration, who's going to handle what, because Desiree was the secretary for the planning board, and she was also the secretary for the zoning board. But now that she is on the planning board, she was elected in this past election, she can't do both. So she would only be able to be dedicated. So I don't know who from the zoning board. We can reach out to Tom Winter, who's the chair, and forward. I'll certainly forward your email and see if he's comfortable with me giving you his email. But then,
Yes, you're welcome to also, like I say, all I need is contact.
Yep.
It sounds like I submitted the wrong department, and I will forward this to the right department.
Yep. Yeah, we can, like I said, I'll reach out and forward your email to Tom and see how he wants to proceed.
Okay, the one you got it, would you
Yeah.
forward it down? Okay.
But so there is a form online though for submitting appeals to the zoning board
Okay,
on the forms. I can respond to your email and send you the link to it.
direction?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And also because today I even made a trip, other than the email, I have a lot of attachment, with it, because it's.
You would want to include those to the zoning board.
Okay, because
Okay.
it is very complex.
Are those new since your email to us?
Yes, those were submitted today,
The
yeah.
email, because I only 3-page paper, but attachment, I found this because I went through a lot of this and I found it useful that are relevant to what I addressed
Okay.
and attached to it, and I hand mark the exhibit because that people have it in hands, knowing that, again, this is a very complex system.
Yep.
And also the owner have a multi lots, it's easy. I'm not sure it's intentional mistake, but mistake definitely is a lot of mistake on there. And I actually, in June, I actually called the State Department and with Alex Pugh, he said he's supposed to be verified by the local RPI. And but evidently, just continue wrong. And
I'll forward you the documentation for how to submit the appeal to the appeals board. And then I'll also confirm with Tom and Desiree where they want those to go, who's going to be receiving those new appeals so that they can schedule the meetings for those. And then I'll get you where they say, basically where they tell me.
okay.
But in the meantime, I will send you the link to the form for the appeals.
Okay.
Yep.
Or I can change, instead of to the selectmen, I change to the files appeal.
There's a specific form that they need.
Okay.
That they'll want to have to file the appeal. So I'll make sure I get that over to you. Right after this meeting.
This has to be I think that there is a meeting on the 31st, is it?
On the 30th, yeah.
Same meeting?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, well, I will get to that.
perfect.
All set?
Yeah, I'm all set for this one.
Thank you.
Jen?
Thank you.
Real quick.
Yes.
Spectrum, so they're not gonna install anytime soon, or are they?
Correct.
Okay. Are they gonna kind of let us know what roads they're gonna work
Oh,
on? So we
absolutely.
can kind of send a notice out to people?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So
Chase and Pratt were gonna be the first two, but we've put a hold on that for
they'll
now.
let us know. Okay.
We have another.
We've asked them to
Friday.
focus on places where they can attach it to
Use
the
the
poles.
Okay.
Because there's areas where they can attach it to the poles. The problem is that there's areas where they will go and then they'll get to a pole that they can't use and they'll have to go down, go 600 feet, and then they can connect back up to the pole, go 500 feet, and then they have to go back underground. And so that's sort of been the issue is, and that was Maya's problem was, how am I going to know? All right, there's a cable between, this one and this pole, or.
It's
Right.
not like dig safe, that you can,
No, of course not.
yeah, so there's a lot of questions still. to be
Yep.
answered.
I just think what people are gonna want to know, because one, for the road disturbance and travel, but also people are really looking for this service
Yeah,
Right,
and pretty excited about it.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Thank you.
Just as a comment about that, if I may, I was down in Holden, Mass. this past weekend, and they were in the process of installing the underground cable down. Looked like a very efficient process,
Process, yeah. It's not a large bore. It's not large, right, it's right, pretty small.
maybe 3 inches, 4 inches in diameter, and the issue of town maintenance of roads and whatnot, they were putting it in about 18 inches deep.
Oh,
The reason they couldn't put it down.
well, they talked about 3 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they talked about 3 feet, right. One of the issues is too, is we asked about what towns they've done that recently, and none. So it would be like Parsonsfield is the experimental one. Hit a rock, bore under the road, that kind of thing. So just still a lot of questions to be answered. Jeff, you started to put your hand up.
Yeah, just a couple of things. The sand for winter, $9.50 a yard. Can the road commissioner do a sample of the aggregate, just in case, it's not ready enough?
I could ask him for sure.
I mean, some gravel pits are better than others. I'm not comparing mills to anybody else, but just saying that the aggregate is the most important part of it. If it's too fine, then it won't really serve the purpose.
Thanks.
That's been a problem over the last few years.
Uh-huh.
And the cannabis thing, 700 feet away from a childcare,
750 feet.
750 feet, I thought it said 700. So if a daycare wants to go in, that means a daycare can't go in?
That question was brought up, and I believe that if a daycare is fully aware of where they're placing their daycare and they know that it's a possibility that they could do that.
Would that change things?
That's all I can tell you.
Okay, so daycare goes in 300 feet or 100 feet, they're aware of it.
Yep.
And if another cannabis store wanted to come in, they could say, well, why can't we be there? Okay, just a question. Copy for the horse. So you approved the applicant, knowing that there's a problem with the septic system. 18 Federal Road, the septic system isn't on 18 Federal Road, is it?
No,
The septic system exists for 18 Federal Road, as far as I know.
It's not on the property.
Correct. They have
Yeah.
a use
Yeah,
agreement.
they have a use agreement.
Okay. All right, well, I guess I didn't see that. Is it in writing somewhere?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, and that's about Since you're on the committee, rec council, rec committee,
Rec committee?
you need a new basketball net over on the kids' playground.
Be a lot of things, but yes. Yeah, that's on the list.
And the hoop, maybe next time an excavator comes, they can straighten out the
I was
hoop.
gonna say that one's,
Or next time they plow snow, they can
Push it the other way,
Pull it.
straighten it.
the other way.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, text my gov icon, that thing won't go away.
Yeah, that's gonna move.
Yeah,
People are complaining about that.
there's a lot of complaints about that.
Yeah,
You
there's,
make it a little bit smaller and you can move it, but
You can move it, but it comes back.
yeah.
It is
Every
a-
time you change a page, it moves right back to where it is.
It is a requirement to have it on our website to have the service, so,
No, I get it, but
yeah.
it's just a,
we all feel the same.
Yep.
How many buckets of sand do residents, are they allowed? Is it a
It's 2 or 3, it's 2 or 3.
month or
One per day,
One per day?
per day.
one 5-gallon bucket?
Yeah. it's a
One per
5-gallon
day
bucket.
per parcel, yep.
no salt.
Right.
One bucket each day we're allowed,
That's all. Really?
Yeah,
that's a lot. If
I think
anybody
it's a lot, sure.
wanted to.
Yeah.
And salt mix, is there any allowance for that?
No,
Nope.
No salt can be.
no.
No.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's one bucket of sand,
right,
not a sand salt mix.
correct.
You shake your head no.
Allowance for a sand salt mix?
Say it's salt mix. I don't think there is straight sand. I think they mix it up.
No,
You can't take salt.
there's a straight salt.
Can't take straight salt, right,
Right.
No straight salt.
right.
There was a sign. It's somewhere there. Oh, it's about 15 feet there. It said, at the shed, no salt.
Yeah.
10 feet, I'm not sure.
Well, we need to redo that whole salt and sand shed, so that's a change.
Yeah, the salt's supposed to be inside the building.
I went down there the other day.
Helpful that way, yeah.
I went down there the other day, yeah. All right, are we all set? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? Undebatable.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Link to that.
If you could get me a job description, if you will,
$50 to a key.
or volunteer.
Okay.
It used to be free. Too many people challenged.